Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And I thought I was done with the 2023 movies for now, like the ones I had to catch up on. Then this one comes out, so I buy it. And I also realized beforehand that I hadn't done Cocaine Bear yet, so I still got to do that one. I'll be caught up. Then there's another one coming out on the 11th, which I'll get next week when I get paid. Can't remember what that is off the top of my head right now. I was gonna look it up and totally forgot. But Evil Dead Rise was a movie that I actually that's what we're talking about, by the way. I actually wasn't too excited for this movie. I'm a fan of the Evil Dead franchise. I recently revisited the Evil Dead movies earlier this year, I believe, or was it late last year? I think it was earlier this year. I revisited the first original three, and then I did for the Sam Raimi review series last year, I believe it was, and then I think it was early this year. I did the 2013 remake. I revisited that, and so going back and watching those, I am really not that big of a fan of the first one. I think it's like the quality is not very good. It's very shoddily done. Like give Sam Raimi some props. It was his first film, but it shows very much so. I would say it's a good movie, but I'm not a fan of it. Evil Dead 2 is better, but I still think it goes too much of a goofy territory. And then you have Evil Dead, and then you have Army of Darkness, that's what it is. Army of Darkness, which is complete and total comedy, but that movie works. You know, of the original three, that is my favorite. I think that is like the best version of Ash outside of the TV series. In a film, that's the best version of Ash you're gonna get. I think that's Ash's greatest there, outside of the TV show, which I think is pure greatness from Ash. And you have the 2013 remake, which I consider to be the best of the films. Now, do I still think that? You have to wait for my ranking. And yes, I know, I do still owe you a Rocky Creed ranking. I forgot. Because I watched that, and then I went to my mom's that weekend, see my son, and then totally forgot about it. And as I was watching this, I got to do a ranking for this one. I'm like, wait, did I ever do the Rocky Creed? No, I didn't do that ranking. So I'll do that too eventually. But yeah, so the trailers, the reason I wasn't too excited about this is that at first I was like, okay, let's see what it does. Now I knew it was going to be in some kind of high rise, whatever. But the trailer, when I saw the first trailer, and I went, no, this is stupid. Because the first trailer has, the possessed mom, she's doing eggs in a frying pan on a gas stove, and she's stirring it and doing things. And I'm like, what is this? No, we're not going back to Goofy. Come on. We don't need to do that. We've shown that you could do serious stuff. If you're going to, especially without Ash, you don't need to go into Goofy territory. And then you have just the way, mommy's with the maggots now. And I went, is that supposed to be scary? Because it's not scary. And then the whole thing where she's outside the window, the little people going, open up now. I'm like, okay, no, they lost me. They lost me. This is not the kind of Evil Dead movie I wanted. I wanted something in the spirit of the 2013 film. I did not want. We're done. We should be done with goofy Evil Dead movies. Okay? Because to me, that 2013 film proved you could do scary. You could do disturbing, and it worked. Then you did Ash vs. the Evil Dead, and that worked because you have Bruce Campbell. Now, having watched the movie, I will tell you that those are pretty much the only real goofy parts of the movie. You shouldn't have put those in the trailer, though, because, yeah, watching this, there's like a couple of jokes here and there. There's another goofy part that's a callback to Evil Dead 2 where the demonic mom bites off an eyeball, spits it in this guy's mouth, and he chokes on it. Where in Evil Dead 2, the possessed bites the eyeball, spits it off in the one in what's her name? The Nobi's daughter. You know, yeah. I think that's the only real. Well, I guess there's the chewing the glass thing, but that's not overly goofy like some of the other things. I gotta get the bugs out of my tummy. I don't know. It just. As I say, it's not as goofy as I thought it was gonna be. The story concerns a sister who goes to visit her, a woman who goes to visit her sister and her sister's kids when an earthquake happens. The kids who are out going to get a pizza at the time find a hole. The oldest son, I believe his oldest son, finds the book in a hole in the ground, which, the director of this, Lee Cronin, he directed a movie called The Hole in the Ground, so, I've never seen it, but I've heard of it, heard about it. But they find the book in there and some records and end up, this kid, Danny, ends up unleashing, teenager, whatever, unleashing this thing and possesses the mom and, haunts this high rise instead of a cabin. Now, I'm a little conflicted because it's a decent idea to do this, but I thought it was going to be way different, especially when you start. You start off in a cabin in the woods, and then you see the cabin, and it's like a triangle, and I'm like, no, that's not even the same fucking... It's not even the same cabin. What are you doing? But then when you realize what's going on, you realize it's not supposed to be the same cabin. I thought, oh, they're going to find the book, one of them's going to escape, bring it back to the high rise. Like, one of them is one of the sisters, and she makes back to the high rise, which is what I thought it was going to be to begin with, is that one of the sisters has the book, goes to visit with her family, and the book is read, and all hell breaks loose. I thought that's what it was. No. This opening has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the film. Although, just to show you a freaky opening, like the 2013 film did, with a creepy opening. But I think this opening's better. I will swallow your soul, Daddy. I will swallow your soul, you pathetic fuck. Much, much, much better done than this. But, it's this girl, she's there with her friend and her friend's boyfriend. And apparently their friend is sick. Her friend is sick. And the boyfriend is very uncaring about it. So she goes to check on her friend. Of course, she's possessed by a deadite. She dies. She turns into the deadite. And she scalps her friend. And then goes out. Okay, so there's another thing. It might be a bit of a nitpick. But he's like, we start off with this, what you think is going to be the evil view. Like the evil presence view where the camera moves, but it turns out to be a drone. And he's like, oh, it can't decapitate you. Don't worry, it's not, the blades aren't strong enough to decapitate you. So I'm like, okay, something gonna happen with those? What's, And so when the demonic possessed girlfriend shows up, she grabs the drone. I'm like, okay, she's gonna decapitate the boyfriend because he's the one that said you couldn't do that. No, she smushed it into her face and she falls into the river, and he jumps in after her stupidly, and he gets decapitated off screen, and his head, a very bad CGI head, gets thrown onto the dock. And then she pops up out of the water, and it goes Evil Dead Rise behind her, and we cut to one day earlier. Yep. Yeah. And so we see the sister, and she's pregnant. This has nothing to do with any of the plot, really. Other than one scene where the possessed sister goes, oh, 2 souls, and is going to rip it out. But other than that, it's not really necessary for her to be pregnant. It's not a big plot point. There's some little things, but she barely gets to talk to her sister about before things happen. And then she has a little conversation with her niece when she's gonna put her niece in the bathtub. So that was funny. She's wearing a swimsuit. Funny. You do that in TV shows and movies to get around child nudity, so that works. Because I've seen it in sitcoms where the kids are like, "Why are we wearing swim trunks in the bathroom?" I don't know. Just take a bath or something like that. I don't know. there's a movie or something. Why am I wearing swim trunks in the bathtub? You know? I don't know. But, yeah. It's a fun little joke thing to do. And she's like, something about a sea urchin or something that got her. And or jellyfish, I think it was. And so she's like, there's nothing in here. And she pretends there's something and it gets her. But you got Robert Ducky. He's a little joking with her niece. So that's kind of fun, you know. There's a difference, though, taking care of your nieces and nephews or someone else's child to taking care of your own child, where you only have to take care of their children for like a few hours, whereas your child is 24/7. So it's a lot more responsibility. But yeah, and so she has pregnancy pains, which she's not that far along, so I don't know. Those are the thing. I'm a man, so I've never been pregnant, so I don't know about that. Maybe you do get them early on. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. I'm a man, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, and that's when she's like, "Oh, I have tummy aches sometimes too," and so she kind of connects with her niece there. But yeah, so yeah, the whole thing with the book is that Danny finds it, and there's these records, which apparently this happened in 1923. Was the records in 1923? I don't know. Now, this is where we get some retconning of the lore, so to speak, in a way. So on these recordings, this priest or whatever he was says that that the book they have, which looks nothing like the other books we've seen, is one of 3 different books in a set of Naturom Demento. So there's the Necronomicon Ex Mortis from the first one, the Naturom Demento from 2013 film, and this one. And even Lee Cronin has said that these 3 books that they're talking about are the 3 that Ash sees in Army of Darkness. However, I don't know how, if that was, it was very much said in that film that one was the real one, the other 2 were fake. So I don't know. But apparently this one, with the teeth on the brim, on the, is the one that bit Ash in that movie. Apparently. Even though it's bit from the cover, not the side, but whatever. And that one had face, this one doesn't, but whatever. They're all meant to look like the same book. So maybe they can change the look. I don't know. Appearance, I don't know. And even we hear Bruce Campbell on the audio saying it's called the Book of the Dead for a reason. And Lee Cronin has also said that he believes that to be a time-displaced Ash Williams. That one I'm calling bullshit. Because there is no way he could be in 1923. Spoilers for Ash vs. Evil Dead, but that series ends. If everything is supposed to be connected, that series ends with him in the future. Now, you could say that he tried to go back in time to our time, and because Ash, he fucked up and got sent back to 1923. I don't know, but since the character of Ash is retired, I don't think we're ever going to actually see him again. But sure, you want to throw that out there, fine. But of course, he starts to read the incantation, and wouldn't you know it, Danny can't seem to turn off the record player, even though that's complete and total bullshit. It's just, I'm like, there's no way. Like, they do it just so that, coincidentally, it can't be stopped. So it just controls, he can't do it. He tries to take it off, nothing. There are some things in here that I'm going to call out as bullshit. There's one specific thing we're going to get to, but yeah, the mom gets possessed while going in the elevator, and she comes back. We see the egg thing, and then she dies, and then comes back to life. Skipping some things with the neighbors. There's some introductions with the neighbors. there's some callbacks. Like the pizza is called Henrietta's Pizza. Henrietta from Evil Dead 2. And even then, there's a guy named Mr. Fonda. Bridget Fonda played Linda in uh, Army of Darkness. Now, this family thing, I've heard people say, this is the first time it's family focused. Bullshit! There's family all over this thing. Ash and Cheryl were siblings in the original, right? Professor Nobi's daughter came looking for him in the second film, right? In the remake, there were 2 siblings. So, and then here, this family. There has been family connections throughout this series. So, yeah, this is not the first time. It's, completely family focused with kids and a parent, sure. But, yeah, they get rid of the dad by saying he just left. That didn't even give him a good reason why he left. She's like, oh, he just decided that it was better to pay child insurance, child support, than be here with his kids or something. Let me tell you, it's not. It never is. But yeah. So So during this fight, the Deadite mom, she stabs her sister in the hand and uses a soldering iron on her oldest daughter's face. Now, the oldest daughter gets possessed from this. Bugs spitting out of her mouth and little tentacle things coming out of her sore. She gets possessed. Beth, the sister who got stabbed in the hand, nothing. And, if you'd seen this series before, you're thinking, oh, she's going to have to cut her hand off. Nope, they never do anything with it. She uses the chainsaw later, but never do anything with it. And I think it's kind of okay to not have the, I loved the 2013 film, but one of the things that I rolled my eyes at the first time that I saw it was, why did she have to lose her arm? It's a callback to Ash, but come on. So I'm glad they didn't do this. She had to take her arm off because of the infection, But yeah. Also, why are they spitting up white liquid now? Used to be blood colored, right? Wasn't it like black viscous liquid that they spit up before? Now it's just white. It's like they're spitting up milk. I don't know why they're doing that. But Bridget gets possessed. Like I said, that's the oldest daughter, Bridget. She gets possessed, and apparently they didn't know how to turn off a damn stove, because she turns the stove back on for some reason. I don't know what she was doing, but you hear the click again, so she turns it back on. I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she just needs light in the kitchen because the power is out at this point. But when the brother goes to check on her, she's possessed. She's eating the glass, saying, I have icky bugs in my tummy. By the way, all the actors in this film are Australian, and you don't even need to know that before watching it, because they can barely hide their accents. Good God, why did you hire Australian actors who can't hide their accents? And even worse, the mom is trying to hide. I hate this. Okay, it's a nitpick for sure, but I hate it when you have actors who aren't American doing American accents, and the best they can do is Southern accents. They're like, oh, she can't do a straight American accent, so let's do Southern accent. Like, for instance, Mia Goth. I've seen her, even in Infinity Pool, she had sort of a Southern draw to her a little bit. Not as much as Pearl, but she just, I don't know. They can't do straight American accent, so they gotta do a Southern accent. She's with the maggots now. That sounds Southern to me. Sorry. I have a stutter and it won't let me do it. That was kind of creepy, though. Open up now. This is kind of Southern thing. I bet you were like, is Scotty broken? What happened? I sometimes get a stutter where I can't say a word right away. It gets me. It's a wonder I get any reviews done. It's gotten better over the years, but open up now. Anyway, so yeah, and this is where I started to get a little bit. No, why are the kids getting possessed? I understand, but we have the tenants for that. I understand in other Evil Dead movies, all the other people they get possessed, but the kids, I thought it would end up with the sister having to take responsibility to watch the kids. No, the two older kids they get possessed because after Danny has the fight with Bridget, he gets stabbed in the chest, and then a bunch of blood spit on him, and he ends up possessed. And so, yeah, it's up to Beth and Cassie with a K for some reason to escape. And we get this. We did it pretty cool. It's mostly off screen, but while they look out the peephole, she kills all the other tenants on that floor. Now we do get a thing where they try to go somewhere, but the stairs are destroyed. The elevator is broken, and they can't get to the fire escape because it's locked. The door, the only apartment with a fire escape, the door is locked, and they have to get in there. And that never really goes anywhere. They try to get into it again later, but they're never able to do it. So they eventually just use the elevator to go back downstairs. This is where we have the biggest problem with the film. The mom Deadite and Bridget and Danny Deadite form what is called the, I don't know, it's a creature from the book. This is their way of saying, okay, the ending of 2013 had that abomination or whatever it was with the blood and everything. You gotta do something like that. This looks absolutely stupid. Not only is it CGI, it's just not scary. All three heads. They gave them all three of the characters' heads. Can't take it serious like that. Make it deformed. Make it a deformed three-headed monster, but not with the heads of the three people. It just looks stupid to me. They make it down. The elevator crashes and they somehow survive. And they make it down with a big shining blood flood. And we get a showdown with the hideous creature in the parking lot, the parking garage. The parking garage, where we get a chainsaw, and they're put to a wood chipper. The sister's decapitated. The mom sister is decapitated, and not Beth, but Ellie. Ellie is decapitated. She kicks her head in, and like, there's several references to her being a groupie. Like, you groupie? I'm not a groupie. I'm not a groupie. How'd you get pregnant? You didn't mention a boyfriend. I think maybe that was implied that she was, but she didn't want to admit it. And that doesn't really go anywhere. Her and Cassie stumble off. And then it's the next day. And we see she's cleverly covered up, so we won't know who it is until later. But it's the girl from the beginning. And we see her get possessed, and that's the connection. Because if you've got to the end of this movie, you're going, okay, what was with that first scene then? Then you see this. You see the evil's not gone. So, yeah, much like Ash at the end of the first Evil Dead, evil comes for. So, yeah. And you could do a sequel. I would say the best way to do a sequel is that they said before that this building was going to get torn down. So everyone is leaving, or before they could even tear it down, they had to condemn it because people started to die and stuff was happening or whatever. They tried to burn the house down, whatever, and it's now either they didn't try to burn. You can go two ways. They tried to burn it down, and now it's a place for kids to try to hang out and stuff happens, or it's just condemned. And much like the house from The Grudge, anyone that goes in and gets infected by the Deadite curse, I guess you could say. I don't know. It's just the way to do it, I guess. But there is also the book is still in the apartment. So You could have one of the people who is going to demolish the place, find the book in an apartment, and start to study it. That leads to Evil Dead somewhere else. Evil Dead in Vegas. You could do something like that. I would like a connection, but I don't know. Did Fede Alvarez produce this? I thought he was going to. No. No, he didn't. I don't know. People want Mia to come back. I don't know if Jane Levy will come back to this, but I don't know. I thought it was fine. I'm gonna give it in the middle of the road, though. I thought it was okay for what it was, but it could have been better. I don't know. There's some goofy stuff in this. I didn't have much faith in it to begin with, but I did like it more than I thought I would. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, so it's the middle of the road. So, what are your thoughts on Evil Dead Rise? Leave comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.